Well, good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. Well, there's been an attack on one of our critical systems, and that is our supply chain. By that I mean the dock workers strike. I want to talk about that, maybe what's causing it, maybe what we should expect, and what you should be doing about it right now. This could have major problems. This morning I put up every morning on the Patreon channel. I'll put up a scripture or some saying to kind of start the day. And the one that I put up today was, if you're not with us on Patreon, we'd love to have you, by the way. The link is down below. You can get a lot out of it. And today's was Proverbs 27:12. It says, a prudent person foresees the danger ahead and takes precautions. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. That's out of the new Living Translation. I think I put the King James up on the site, but that says it a little more clearly. the So the person who sees clearly, the prudent person, is going to take those steps necessary, and that's you, of course, because you are a preparedness-minded person. What's coming? Oh, by the way, I want to thank you all. Are amazing. By the way, I've said that twice. Yesterday's video, I made a video and I apologized for clearing my throat so many times on the one I did before. I just have allergies. I'm not dying from anything. I had a lot of people concerned. Thank you very much. But it's just allergies, and it was early in the morning, and I hadn't talked that much, and I had that morning, stuff, and I just sometimes I just have to rush out and do these things when I have time and can't wait for things to settle down. Well, anyway, I apologize for that, and I had so many people comment yesterday. Oh, so Steve, don't worry about it. We don't mind. We don't care. You have valuable information. You're doing. We appreciate what you do, and just on and on and on. And I have to say that that meant a lot to me. I appreciate that. I appreciate people when they put time and effort into things. They like to be appreciated, and I do this to try to help people. And but to be appreciated for it really feels good. So I want to thank you all for that. And also, I want to welcome everybody. We have so many new people joining on the Patreon channel. I always try to welcome everybody individually. But something's been going on with Patreon's messaging. I don't know what it is. And to be honest, I'm not tech enough to understand, and I don't have time to try to figure it out. But it seems like a lot of my messages have not been getting through for quite a while. And I don't know what it is, but let me just make this for those of you who have joined us, over the last several months on Patreon, and there's been a lot of you. Welcome. This is your personal welcome. It's good to have you there. I'm still able to see all comments, and I can get back to comments. So, comment, and I'll get right back to you, or back to you as soon as I can. Okay. So I think that takes up the announcements for the day. Oh, and for the people who I mentioned, so many people get so upset at me clearing well, maybe not that much. They're just the loud ones. They get upset at me clearing my throat. There's something else that also irritates the dickens out of a certain segment of people. These are the people, of course, that aren't going to survive very, very long after anything. And that is the way that I drink my coffee. They are just upset as can be over how I slurp, how loudly I slurp, and how loudly I swallow when I drink my coffee out of one of my many official Stonemont Integrated Preparedness mugs, which I hope you have, because everything tastes better out of these. So for them, this is for you guys. Okay, now we can get started. All right. So you all are aware, I'm sure, of the dock strike, the longshoreman strike. Started at midnight. I hope that doesn't make me have to clear my throat, right? The longshoreman strike. Why it's happening? Oh, union business. You never know exactly what it's all politics, and union politics is something. I mentioned yesterday that I have some experience with unions. It's the perfect time for a union, especially a union as integrated into the security of our country, as is the dock workers, the longshoremen, to pull one of these because it's right before an election. And so they probably see, and let me differentiate between union workers and union leadership. There's often a disparity in the two. You saw that even though 60% of um, who were Teamsters, was it Teamsters or auto workers? Whoever Sean O'Brien's head says. Anyway, uh, even though 60% uh, support Trump, or maybe it's more than that. It was, I don't know, whatever it was, 60 to 70%. That O'Brien would not, the president of their union, would not come down and make uh, you know a stand for one or the other. He would not recommend. He didn't want to alienate the other. These guys are smart. They're politicians. So this, what's happening with the longshoremen. Uh, you know, a lot of them aren't going to agree with it. They just want to go to work and support their families, and they get paid pretty good. But the leadership has seen a weakness here, a time of weakness. They see that the Biden administration is in tatters. They see the weakness of Kamala Harris. So they're probably trying to get something out of them. They're pushing them hard and saying, this is going to destroy you. And this is not necessarily, there will be some that say, Trump's behind this, Trump's doing this. Nah, that's not the way. No. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to agree with me. I don't care. But this is the perfect time for the leadership in the union, and I'm sure they see it. We're going to call a strike and push their hand, and if the administration doesn't get in there and help to work it out, it's going to destroy the Harris Walsh ticket, and so they got him over a barrel, and it's just hard politics. That's all it is. And you can say it's right, you can say it's wrong. Doesn't matter. Right and wrong don't matter in these things. Right and wrong matters with your life. It doesn't matter on what's going on a global scale. What matters is that you prepare to be able to defend against it. The prudent man sees trouble coming and prepares, or woman. Oops, there I go again. Maybe that loud coffee slurping. It's karma coming back and making me clear my throat. But so they're going to see, and now we'll see what the Biden-Harris administration try to do about this. There's a good chance that the union will get something big out of this. The problem here is, and how long they'll go, who knows? I mean, I don't know what the state of their strike fund is. I'm sure they got a healthy strike fund, and they'll keep their guys getting paid for a while. We will see. Now, all that's just kind of background to the problem at hand, and that is an interruption in our supply chain. Now, I said before that this is an attack on our infrastructure. Essentially, one of the integral components of our national security is our supply chain. Food, drugs, everything else. Nobody cares about whether their new Elantra gets to them, but they need the food, they need everything like this, and this affects all of the ports, of course, along the eastern seaboard and then around the Gulf. Can stuff still get in? Well, yeah, they'll have to go around either through the Panama Canal, if that's even working very much right now. I don't know what the situation is with the canal, or down around the tip of South America, which puts additional miles, additional time, and additional cost on the shipping, and that's going to hit everybody. So where this attack came from, okay, is it just politics, or is this something that was caused by payoffs from outside our country? Could it have been Mr. Soros that says, "Hey, let's who knows?" You can make these things work either way. So it depends on how many layers of the onion you want to peel off. So I'm not saying one thing or another, but it could be, foreign money that has inserted itself and caused these people to make the decision to have this strike. Whatever the cause is, doesn't matter when it comes to, are you going to get your toilet paper, right? So I said yesterday, I think the title even was, if you need it, get it now. And now that we see this, get it now. If you didn't get it now yesterday, get it now today, or at least at least I would say in the next few days. It's going to take a few days for this to trickle in, and even if this strike is is solved in the last day or in the next day or two, there's going to be a supply chain hiccup there, just as stuff hasn't been getting offloaded. And so be ready for that. But if this continues, if it goes on, this could be a major problem. So think about those things that you need. Of course, what you need, hopefully you're good in food, right? If you are a PMP, if you're new to this channel, I don't like the term prepper. I call them PMPs, or preparedness-minded person. Or if you're a group, you are preparedness-minded people. Okay, that denotes a lifestyle, that you live the lifestyle out of responsibility, not that you just prep and buy a bunch of crap out of fear. So if you are a serious PMP, you should already be pretty well prepared in the food department. You have stored water, and you have ways to process water if for some reason you have a boil order, or if somehow your city water or rural water or even your well water is somehow tainted, you have a way to deal with that. Water is both storage and processing, so you have to have a way to do both of those. And of course, like I said, food is a given, right? But how about your medications? And it's not just your prescription drugs. Although, if you're on prescription drugs, do everything you can to get off of them. I used to be on a couple. I trusted my doctor until my very smart wife started looking into it, and she said, those things will kill you. And she was right, and we found natural ways to do it. And now I'm 70. I don't take a single prescription drug. I barely occasionally take occasionally an allergy pill, right? So I won't clear my throat all the time when I'm making videos or a Excedrin or something like that. But get off of them. So much of this stuff can be solved with diet. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm telling you from my own experience. That might be straight. I don't know whether it's a lot of medical issues that people are dealing with now, have been taking pills for years and think they're going to have to take them for the rest of their lives. It can be solved with diet. Okay, so take a look at your diet. If you carry an extra pounds, stop carrying those pounds. Okay, get a little exercise. Get out there and get a lot of exercise and eat right, and you're going to square yourself away, and you won't need all those pills. But you should have over-the-counter stuff as you need it. You should have it supplied. Okay, you need the ibuprofen and the Tylenol, acetaminophen, and some allergy stuff and some Benadryl. One of the first things that I started really stocking was Benadryl. Do you know why? It's not just, to keep somebody from sneezing, but I saw when I worked at the hospital, I was in the ER a lot, and a lot of people, when they came in with when people came in with anxiety or the old stuff, one of the first things that the nursing staff gave them? A Benadryl. Keep them, kind of calms them down, I don't know why that is. I could ask one of my good friends who's a nurse, but if we have a nurse here, I know we got a lot of nurses here, go ahead and tell us why that settles them down. But either, in a bad situation, in a grid down situation, in a Tiatwaki SHTF, you're going to have a lot of people going berserko. And so that's why I got Benadryl for all of them. Here, have a Benadryl. Settle down so that you'll understand what I'm about to tell you, right? But, all your paper supplies, not just toilet paper, paper plates, everything you need, whatever. Cleaning supplies. Make sure you have all the cleaning supplies that you might need for quite a while. All those things that are basic to your daily life. Because if you remember the shortages, right? You remember walking in those stores and seeing all the empty shelves, and oh my gosh, what are we going to do? There's no bread, in the bread. Well, you shouldn't be eating bread anyway. Bread kills you, but oh my gosh, nothing's here. I forget what it is we couldn't get. There was quite a few things we couldn't get for nothing that we really needed, but things that we had on a daily basis. So just take a look. What are the things you really need? Really stock up. And then what are the things that you don't need, you can survive without, but that, you you do it on a daily basis, and it just adds to your day. Do that. Make sure that you are, keeping your tanks topped off because as well, it'd be kind of complicated, but just to keep, you should always keep your fuel tanks topped off. Make sure you get, plenty of propane bottles if you use them, or, I keep, for your grill and your dual use generators. Just make sure you have it. This is going to be an interesting time. We'll see what happens with it. We'll see how long it goes. But even if it doesn't last too long, it's going to create a hiccup. And, another thing, somebody said on the other day, says, I already got my Christmas turkey. Well, we always keep turkeys frozen just because one Christmas, I forget why it was, or one Thanksgiving, turkeys were not to be had. I don't remember why. I'm not sure if that was COVID or whatever. But after that, we always keep it because we always like to have turkey at Thanksgiving and Christmas. So get out there and get those things. Get the things you might need for the holidays. If you have an idea of what gifts you want to give people, they're probably going to be cheaper now than they will be in a month or two if you can get them. So get out there and get them. And remember that anything that you buy now is really going to be an investment because the price is going to increase. So it's either going to be an investment now or an expense then. And that's about it. It'll be interesting. I'll be watching this. If you're prepared, there's really nothing to be concerned about. But it's a good time to tighten things up and take a look and see where you might have a crack you need to fill in, right? And if you're not quite where you need to be, sit down and go through your house with your partner. I asked Kelly last night. She's the one that brought it up. She says, we need to be getting in some extra of this or that and the other thing. And as you can imagine, we're pretty well supplied with most things. And I said, well, okay, tell me what you think we need to, and we'll get down there and get them. So, work with the other people on your team. They'll have ideas that you might not, and get out there and get them. And then you'll make it through this with no problem. That's it. Go out and have yourself a good day. Remember, like we say, and I should take one more for that, in case one of those people still hung around. Oh, that's good. And for the person that says, hey, Steve, are you still thinking about making a Stone Mott coffee? Yes, I am, but I have so many things on my plate right now. It's not going to be right away, okay? But until then, you can drink out of your Stone Mott cups. I didn't even tell you all to visit us at our website, stonemont.us. You can get all my books. You can get all the mugs. You can get T-shirts. We're going to be coming out with hoodies, all sorts of things to improve your life, because they will. So until tomorrow, at least, I'm sure I'll be talking to the people on Patreon later. And like I said, if you're not with us on Patreon, we'd love to have you. The link is down below. The link to my website is down below. Come give us a visit. But have a good one. Remember that we prepare well today. Can you read that there? In order to live well tomorrow. There's the motto. People have asked me that before. So it's how I sign all my books and everything. Semper Paratus, always prepared, always ready. Yeah, somebody told me. I didn't know that when I started using that, it was the motto of the Coast Guard. People ask me, were you a Coastie? Nope. But it's the motto for a lot of different organizations as well as ours. So you all have a good day. Go out there and stock up, and we'll see what happens, and I'll talk to you later.